Hello, and we're live. Oh my goodness, everybody. I know we're a little bit late. Hope make sure I'm not muted. And you're here on day 5 of ProBots. Man, a little bit of explanation to our lovely audience. I like to make sure you guys are in the loop before I do all their introductions. We had a technical emergency. If you're a long time fan of ProBots, you know that these things happen. They happen. But we actually have been pretty good, though. We've been pretty good for quite some time. What the hell are you wearing? All right, this is a good introduction. Ender Sword and Ban Yoshi are here with me to bring you the juice of the show. Boys, how are you?
Doing good.
I'm ready to get juiced.
Yeah, Ender Sword is doing up the superhero. So I'm gonna give you guys a rundown of what we got going on tonight. There was a missed game last week, so we're gonna start today's ProBots off with a regame of Arty versus Sharkbot. There was a human error in the games being played, and then we had to redo it. So before we even start our main show today, we're gonna quickly hammer that out. And I really don't know if we have to really do a lot of this preamble about it because you guys. But you know what? Let's
go.
Let's explain. Like, give people just the overview. All right, give it the caster. You handle where you want to go from here.
So I guess the human error on this was just that one of them was like they did updates for week 3 and we just didn't do it. So it played on the old version. And that's why, if you remember from our broadcast, like we were a little stunned because we were like, Sharkbot wrote like a whole poem of like what it was going to do. And then
I'm going to go with depths against Arty.
Didn't do any of that. So it turned out that it was just because we didn't use the right version, so it wasn't doing any of that. So basically, we're going to play on that. Then depending on the winner or loser of this, that will affect the rest of our matches, which you'll see shortly after. So other than this one, which is a redo, the rest of it is going to be the final consolation to get out of the group after this. But yeah, won't go through like the stats and the strengths and the weaknesses.
No,
we're already late and we got extra matches today, so we're just going to jump in.
All right, production, take us away. Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, we can do the whole. We can go the whole way.
Yeah, there's no clock or nothing, but like if they're ready to go, then just jump in immediately. Yeah, but I don't know that they are. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, we'll see if unupdated Sharkbot got 2-0'd by Arty, but the update's a very Arty specific update. So
yeah, we had not. It was kind of weird to us. We commented he wrote an entire poem and like explanation of what he updated, and then it didn't do any of that. So we're like, well, something's weird here. Like something's off. So regardless, that's where we are. So hopefully we'll end up seeing this sort of thing. And I think we're gonna skip the clock and just go right in. Yeah, there we go. See, 2 minutes were deleted. Like that,
and these 20 seconds can't take that. You know, if 2 minutes goes by like that.
Exactly. Yeah, we almost had time for a Crunker Strike round.
Oh yeah, guys, check out Discord real quick.
Yeah.
Shout outs to
so good.
Crunker. Put your favorite bots in the chat though before we get started.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see all the other bots that we're gonna go over later tonight after this match. But throw in your favorite bots, like, subscribe, hit that bell, and we're gonna hop in to our match 1. Now.
Arty. Sharkbot.
So this looks more like what Sharkbot promised.
Yeah, that's a lot more probes than
Yeah.
the last game that we saw twice.
Yeah.
But it is. Oh wait, okay. A pylon goes down, but no forge yet. So is it just straight worker rush?
Yeah, kind of weird. It's like a 6 worker pull, which is an automat. Only one's kind of attacking. He's got 2 of them trapped there.
And the barracks does start.
Barracks is set behind. There's a forge. There's no like forward
pylon to
Pylon,
build
yeah.
the yeah. And like the mineral income's so slow that like a pylon and cannon like just takes a while if you're only mining with 8 workers or 6 workers or whatever it is. So yeah, I'm not loving the middle of the route of like probe rush, cannon rush.
Yeah.
Because I think you can do this with 2 workers just as easily.
See, so he may not have anticipated the wall because he's trying to build a pylon in the base. We saw a flash of there. So yeah, he may be committed. The idea here was he expected an open door, although I don't think there ever was before either.
Well, maybe it's like
if he proxies correctly, I think the idea is to wall off the main.
yeah, I think the wall just comes later, right? Like I feel like the probes were almost so early that it like Arty had all of their money still before being able to make the proxy barracks, and so then they were able to wall off. Where like if you show up when the 2 barracks go down, I don't think you have the funds to really keep out the probes. But yeah, it's like the timing was like too early, and then too many probes to be pulled, where it's not enough to get like game-ending damage done with the probes, but it's also too many to like get into anything else other than a probe rush. So I guess we're gonna go natural and just go macro out of this.
Seems to be it, and yeah, I could have pulled the probes back obviously a long time ago, but I think he's going to be okay. Especially given that Arty doesn't add any workers. So the first couple went out, died. I think one building, one of the supply depots died, so he lost 3, and then hasn't replaced them. So yeah, they both lost 3 in total. But Sharkbot's been expanding.
Yeah, so if Arty doesn't have that, you kind of, well, 1 base punch, I guess now. Then Sharkbot should look good, but yeah, the Marines are coming, and Sharkbot will only have a Zealot early on. The Cybercore just finished. Still needs a little bit more gas.
Shield battery helps. 2 shield batteries will be in place in the mineral line and around the buildings, so I think he's gonna.
Oh, and the natural was canceled.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize. I was gonna say that the only annoying thing is if you have shield batteries in the main, the natural's just gonna be at the target. Oh, pull back.
Loses it, but that's 1 at
Worth
least,
it.
so not a total loss. He'll go in. Shield battery is about to finish. He'll attacking the Nexus. Will not help. He's still making a Zealot, even though his Cyber was done.
Well, he's not mining any gas.
Yeah.
And so the Sharkbot, I don't know, mine gas for like 2 trips, 4 trips or whatever, and then stop mining gas. And so, yeah, only Zealots are going to be coming, which if the Marines just keep coming out, I don't see Arty kind of getting the number to ever switch this. Although Arty does not micro.
Here, yeah, Arty doesn't micro. Yeah, it specifically said that.
Yeah.
It doesn't micro.
Like
and
combat tactics or something.
Yeah. A Zealot defended by like power of God, basically. Well, assume that, but he's not adding more units either. He's got tons of minerals.
Tons of minerals.
He's not actually adding anything.
Getting gas too.
Yeah.
You have 8 gates and get some stalkers out.
He basically only starts that second Zealot when the first one dies.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, and it's starting to be a lot of Marines, and these shield batteries are out of energy.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking like an Arty dub. I think a lot of things could have changed. Literally 1 stalker, like, compared to a Zealot, especially if the Marines aren't microing well. Like, your stalker's chilling. Yeah, infinite damage.
I think he was clearly maybe supposed to be mining more gas, and then, like, whatever, although we're going to get this again. Where Arty not only doesn't micro, but doesn't know how to clean up.
Well, and just like, if they went above 39 supply, eventually the ball of Marines would just happen to hit it. But they just, listen, we already won or lost at this point.
Now, if Sharkbot's probe, which is still alive, just left, he's got enough to build another Nexus. And Arty's army, as far as I know, will never move at this point. So if Sharkbot moved, then then it would be something.
In theory,
Somehow Arty's still using a lot of APM. That may be speed mining or something only. But so I guess that's a Sharkbot loss.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, but if he had moved the probe, one, he could have went out and built a whole other base. But two, even if he just kind of moved it back and forth, both are still alive.
Yeah, so just
Yeah.
keep going until possibly an actual draw.
Yeah. All right. So there we go. Match number one.
For real.
Like
The sequel,
match number one, attempt number 3.
It's like the final draft.
Yeah. And yeah, then we're gonna go on to Site Delta next. I do think the map is gonna make a difference in some of this stuff. And then something there, I think because it's not that he mined 0 gas, he mined like 12 gas. And
Yeah,
then
which
something
makes no
made him
sense.
stop, but like whatever it was that made him pull off and stop was the issue. And
Yeah,
then
well, because the fact that he
yeah.
gets 2 gas assimilate, you pay up 150 minerals for
Yeah.
the assimilators. You'd think, somewhere in there you do want gas.
Yeah, you're gonna do something. And I think the way that he was set up with he'd make a zealot, and if he lost it, made another one. I'm sure it had like a script of like make one zealot, then make either adepts or stalkers, then this, and then it got reset every time he lost a zealot. He remade it, so he was clearly intending like make something else. It just didn't play out. So whatever there. See if that gets fixed on the second match, or it may just be a quick repeat
same
of
thing.
same result.
Yeah, I think early on, big changes are if the probes can get into the base, very, very different. You get the first pylon down, and the cannons maybe go up, or the probes in the base, and then if the barracks actually get out on the map.
Yeah,
I think if Marines are out faster on the map, it kind of gets funkier, and Arty gets an even better position. But yeah, Sharkbot can get in, or just like time it where he's showing up when the barracks are going down, so you don't have the money to make 3 supply depots immediately. Could be very different, but we will see if Sharkbot can bring this to a game 3.
Arty. Sharkbot.
Okay, definitely less aggressive from Sharkbot.
Yeah. Yep, single ProBot instead. Does still find the location though.
And this can be huge, especially with Arty's other SCV not trying to attack the probe, but just continuing the build. Yeah,
probe's got to finish the job though. There, let's pick him off. This is almost better in a way. I think in the complete shutdown, he just went and did it at home. Now with the half-built buildings, what happens? Yeah, does he send out more?
Yeah.
Then do they keep chain dying to the same probe?
Yeah. No, yeah, this definitely is very easily can just become game over, where the barracks never finished, but also Arty already has kind of a tendency to under prepare for things to go awry. The fact that at 39 supply, that is it. The game plan is done. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Makes me very worried for if the barracks don't go up, what happens in that kind of chain of logic.
Here the Nexus coming down again. I wonder if canceling the Nexus was also something that canceled like the gas mining.
Oh, yeah.
Or may get this one up just on, will finish just before dying. The other one still not.
But Sharkbot has gas now.
Oh, this is interesting though. So everything is just kind of timing based, I think. So
this is when he's supposed to have like
the
he's 8 Marines to already have whatever.
He's already supposed to have 4 Marines, so he's doing this, but he's not. And the Marine there will get pulled up. There he's going for the Twilight Council.
Maybe Resonating Glaives. Sharkbot has talked about adepts.
Yeah, there is an adept on the way. Now what's happening though? The SCVs just kind of go home.
I think they're chasing the probe? Is that a
Yeah,
probe?
maybe. Yeah.
In front? No.
No, that's.
I was like, because they were too far back to even have the vision
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, another probe does come out. Two Marines will gather up here, so you're still going to have to deal with that at some point. But yeah, that's a lot of lost mining time to take all your SCVs basically across the map. Also, the other thing we had seen in the previous stuff was the SCVs came when the command center was under attack, and he was going to pull the command center across the map. So this
Yeah.
time they just kind of went, I don't know, maybe to even just secure the building
Barracks
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Adept will go.
Oh, they're not looking great. Okay, and is gonna just go into blink, and so yeah, these adepts are just for the harass, and then stalkers will be the main army, which kind of have that burrow roach effect of like they're really hard to kill if you micro perfectly.
Scouting with that one. Is he gonna go up the ramp though? Not so far.
Yeah, and
That's
it almost
defenseless if he just walks in.
it almost looks like the way that the shade moves looks like he's like clicking up the ramp and it's blocked off.
Yeah.
You know, like going
Yeah.
into that corner. But yeah, he's obviously
Yeah,
not
but it's
clicking
not.
up the ramp at all.
Yeah, weird behavior there so far. He's got the natural at least here though. Getting warp prism, getting blink. It's a fair number of Marines still. Like he could still just go with this, but he's gonna go back home instead.
I get the adept maybe because the depot maybe was getting a
It sees it. Probably.
vision.
Yeah. This one. This time he'll be trapped.
Good micro. Oh, well.
Yeah. Really cancels the
Weird
shot.
choice to cancel that there, but
Yeah. Okay. So Sharkbot is moving out. Not with too many units though. He's got the warp prism again to do this micro thing.
why would you blink forward?
One trap.
What are I hate these
That was
blinks.
a pretty weird blink again. He's still gonna be fine though.
Yeah, it was just unstimmed Marines, it just like doesn't matter that much. But this Warp Prison micro has not been good. We've seen
Yeah.
this happen again. Was it Sharkbot last week too? That was
Yeah, I think it was him.
because they try to do it with like 16 stalkers, and it's just like that never
Yeah.
can work. There's just way too much to try to pick up.
Yeah, was it him? Because it was him against the Zerg, right?
Zerg that was getting-
He would drop it right in
Yeah.
Zerg's face.
So it wasn't
Like,
Sharkbot because
yeah,
he was
it
playing
wasn't him.
Arty.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the Protoss is running away from Zergs and trying to play Stalker against Ling.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, these... You gotta use the blinks defensively. You can't only use the Warp Prism. It's just not the same. But Sharkbot going up to 3 bases, 75 supply to 12. Pretty much every category, Sharkbot looking like they're going to take this one, which will bring us to a game 3 in this first set.
Yeah, I mean, again, assuming he closed it out, like, this is still all weird. It's weird to see Sharkbot kind of playing in such a janky way. Like, he should still win, but he's not doing anything to close this out. And then this is getting worse.
Yeah, this doesn't look good. It's definitely an ugly way to win, but yeah, it also is. Arty just does not have the second gear. There is no, like,
yeah, there's nothing else.
you can kill 2 million probes, but eventually Arty's not even going to build more Marines, and like, it just, it dies down so hard.
Yeah, I just don't know what's going on this other side. We've got, okay, now he's finally doing this little fun plan. I think he just wanted to go into the base the coolest way. He just was not taking the ramp, no matter
Yeah.
what.
Well, he just wants to make sure that Blink is
Yeah.
on cooldown whenever he could be in a fight, you know? Before you fight, make sure you blink so that you can use
So that
Warp
it's
Prism.
completely useless.
Alright, and luckily they're able to kill that command center before it gets to a nice dead air zone.
Yeah.
Now the stalkers should be able to pretty easily march back. Blink, however, they want, however useless, and it should be fine.
Yeah, and they'll just find the barracks, hopefully clean it up. game 3 in a little bit. But again, he's got to kind of do it. They should be revealed. You should be able to see exactly where they are.
Nice.
That'll do for that one. And then we will quickly go to the ace match, which is like, so far this series has contained 8 or 9 games.
2 week span, like
yeah.
12 games later. We're gonna have a victor very soon, guys.
Yeah. It's kind of like, ever see like those football games with the ending where they have to like call the teams back on the field and get the band off the field and
Oh God,
all that stuff. Yeah. I think there's one of those in like college football like last week. And it was just that there was 1 second left on the clock. So the other team had another play. They had to like clear everything. It took like 30, 40 minutes. Got them back on to do the one play, and then still nothing happened. They lost.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when StarCraft players will like pause in like a big battle, and like obviously like, they have lag and stuff, but like it takes 20 minutes to resolve, and they resume, and then it's like GG. Yeah. Like I was not winning this match. Little unfortunate, but hopefully this game will make it all worth it. This absolute banger of a game to finish off this set.
Sure it will.
It's got to.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hop in and we'll find out.
Sharkbot.
All right, looks more similar to the second game than the first game. I like Arty, or I like Sharkbot not going for that probe pull cannon rush, and another super fast scout.
Yeah, so this is the one he gets stuck like this for a while. So this time he's actually in a different spot than he was in week 1. So he may have worked on that to fix it a little bit. Here the probe doing the right thing eventually, but doesn't do it super quick. So eventually they just do finish.
Yeah.
You know, with additional SCVs coming. That one's in a good spot. Yeah, can still reach him.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying where if you don't shift click the worker like a bunch of times,
yeah,
every time the SCV moves, it deletes, those like commands basically.
This proxy feels a bit more aggressive, like pretty close. It looks like Sharkbot moved out to make the nexus, so we'll see when the minerals finish.
Still gonna go Cybercore first, even though they had that worker kind of position, but the natural will come down, and unfortunately Arty is trying to build the like less built of the two barracks, and so they're both just getting to like 98%.
Yeah, I think last time too he was lucky enough that when they came they were both building at the same time and he had to switch.
The probe had to choose one worker to kill.
But this time he's actually going to stop both. The last time one got up. So a shift there.
Yeah, this game looking even better than last game, and just in terms of delaying Arty, and when you're getting a natural and your opponent still can't build their first, army building.
Not too healthy.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Too healthy. He'll probably finish this time.
We'll see the RNG of the worker.
If he gets a decent movement. He's less than half, but he's got it. Even if he stays there, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At some point, I feel like the proxy bots should get some Maru micro.
Yeah.
Of like cancel and re-hit it, and I guess it's hard to tell when you need to do that. I mean, maybe like when you're getting hit, you just try to reset your SCV positioning, but I feel like there are map locations that you can probably be more abusive, and then the actual micro of like, if I'm being hit, send my worker to like a different part of the building,
Indeed. Marines will start to compile. There comes the adept. Is he going to see the... Well, I know he knows the buildings are there, but yeah, the units will actually encounter, but we'll let the shade finish and just ignore them.
Yeah,
That could have been
on
a
mission.
difference. Yeah, that could have been a difference if this got tied up. It just ends it right there. The other thing, because this one never went up the ramp last time, like, will it? Or is its only job to, like, check if there's a natural and not care about anything else?
I feel like it's just the natural.
Yeah.
I love Sharkbot's text. Yeah, we'll see if this one's any different, but it looks like
it's
he's just
doing the same loop.
as long as our Sharkbot has the natural and Arty doesn't have a natural, it's a pretty nice
fine.
yeah, if then statement right there.
Yeah. It just feels, especially since he coded this directly for him, you know that nothing is at home.
Arty never does
Yeah.
a natural.
Like, yeah, and he know, like, at least look up the ramp. Like, you could shade up the ramp and take a peek.
Oh, A-clicking the Nexus.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Very weird. And I feel like that
Yeah.
Arty did not do that in the past. You know, like,
Yeah.
that is just like the worst way to go about a push. Yeah, I mean, Sharkbot's just gonna move across before Stalkers when Arty only has 3 Marines at a time or whatever it's gonna be. And this one will be even faster than game 2.
Is shaping up like that. Yeah, still encountering stray Marines on his side.
I wonder if it's like the idea is to A-click into the natural and then like go up the ramp, and they just so happen to A-click on the net. You know, like
Yeah, it's hard to say what's going on there.
yeah. Oh, get it on fire before it gets away. You have blink, don't you?
That's a big gap. Big gap to blank. At least
Well,
at least he's on these, and we're not going to wait 3 extra minutes for that. He's going to chase. The issue with this is he can't see this.
Yeah, yeah.
So okay, okay. Did it GG'd because it lost the barracks? I
The
guess.
barracks?
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Interesting.
So there we go. So the rightful, after all of that, the rightful winner is intended to be Sharkbot, and it's going to be Arty going down. And of course, I was going to point out from our miscue earlier that obviously we showed an Arty versus Deimos game, so we knew what the result was going to be.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
anyone kind of pieced that together. So that presumably will be what's coming up in a second.
Bruce Willis was dead the whole time.
We
guys.
could always pretend. I was going to comment, well, Arty did play Deimos in round 1, so it could be that, but I don't know if he played on that map, so it doesn't. Yeah.
It's gonna be a hard sell. To...
Either way, it'll be a rematch, and this one was a 2-1 in the first time we saw it. So we are going to jump directly into those as soon as we get the games ready. So it'll be a rematch here. So Arty, definitely a up and down bot here. Sharkbot did ultimately survive with his counter build, but it doesn't really feel, other than the send up ProBot to stop the barracks, it didn't feel very countery. Like that wasn't like a, this is the way to defeat this. It was just kind of a, I'll stop it with a probe and then I'll kind of do stuff in a uncharacteristic for Sharkbot sloppy manner.
Yeah, well, especially because game 1 looked like the more specific counter play, and then it was like, but that didn't work at all. That was like the worst, you know.
That didn't.
But yeah, I feel like an early probe scout isn't the hardest counter. You know, like it obviously works really well. Especially, I feel like that was like the perfect path both times. Of like as soon as the barracks started, the probe was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely not the craziest build order to pull out as a specific counter to a person.
Yeah, it kind of feels like you don't. I don't know. If you know that somebody's doing it like a single one-dimensional like cheese, you don't like open to something and transition to something. Like you don't like
you could crush it harder, kind of.
Yeah, you could crush it much harder. You don't have to get up to the warp prism micro part.
Yeah, yeah.
Like just shut it down and then there's no more dimensions to it. So I don't know what happened there exactly, but there you have it. Yeah, so okay, if we get a long timer, we'll see if that's real.
We'll see if it's real, yeah, because we are kind of get through some matches a little faster, maybe a little earlier, fast forwarding.
Yeah,
every once in a while.
Yeah,
it
that's
did.
it. We started way late, and we got more matches than normal. So we'll
Yeah.
see how that goes. And I know that for our American fans out there, it is Thanksgiving as well.
It
So
is.
maybe this is a good excuse to get away from your family for a while. Who knows? Yeah, here we got Arty versus Deimos. Yeah, strategy here of basically in a non-TVZ, which is this, it is going to be a TVP. Basically, he's going to do what we just saw him do
Yeah,
5 minutes ago. So wouldn't worry about that part. That's how that's going to be.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same thing of the weaknesses. The marine micro is gonna be like the scary part. I feel like, where if Deimos has some stalkers out, it just gets really rough to play that micro game. But if Deimos isn't trying to hard counter, marines and SCVs do some work.
Yeah, they definitely can. So yeah, we're gonna kick things off on equilibrium for this one. Yeah, which we just saw. So he adjusted between weeks where his proxy position was going to be. It was originally down in like the deep corner, and he seemed to have trouble with the SCV getting stuck there. So maybe we'll see this more aggressive. And then is Deimos going to have anything to kind of scout or detect that? Because if it does get up, it's still a reasonably, just a bunch of Marines that you don't expect are still an issue.
Yeah. Very snowbally too.
Yeah,
You lose like
yeah.
the first zealot or something, and it just gets really rough.
Can be for sure.
All right, timer is up. We'll see if it's really ready. Arty Deimos match 2, game 1. Let's go.
Arty. Deimos.
Not too close.
Yeah. He's still doing this like bumpy
Okay.
thing, but he freed himself
Yeah, it looks scary for a second, but
in a reasonable amount of time. That's all we can ask for.
oh, the probe is just gonna go straight across. It looks like. Oh no, it's scouting a little bit. I don't know if it's scouting in the best way, but oh, but can't
Maybe we can. I guess that is our job in this engagement. Yeah, we'll take a look around. Yeah, and it doesn't see these yet, but may have an inkling anyway. Opening in a way that's decent for this. There'll still be a little bit of time. Hopefully, we see something like the second gateway or something. At least a zealot starting. We don't at the moment, so. Hopefully for him we do, or at least a good response with the probes or something.
So yeah, if we can get like a full wall off to keep the probes out,
Yeah.
that's huge. If we can cancel the natural when we see the probe pull, that's pretty huge.
Something that comes with the SCV pull, especially since it's all of them, is there's only so many Marines that are going to come join this, so you don't have to live like perfectly.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then this sort of thing happens.
Oh,
So the probe was spotted on the other side, and maybe they're going back to that, or maybe like this is considered like a success of the
like I said,
attack.
the natural cancel seems like that
Yeah.
may have triggered it, but it also, yeah, the probe on the other side kind of.
I would say. Okay, now
Oh,
they're coming
no.
back.
All right, so it seems like it's the probe then that was kind of messing
But
with
now he's going to have an adept and potentially the stalker by the time these actually come up here.
it. Yeah, and a robo on the way, shield battery.
Yeah, this is a pretty well defended position. Yeah, and there's no Marines joining this. Marines are somewhere out there. Yeah.
And 35 minerals, so this is the end of the Marines
this
right
is
here.
it. Yeah. This is it. So, and I mean, little trap here, but with the shield battery, there's just too much life, too much tank.
Yeah. And the probes will help support. Another stalker's gonna come out. And this will be very nicely cleaned up.
Indeed, that is all. So it's nice at least that that he GG's out
Yeah.
in those game's over situations. Helpful for us.
So it seems
yeah.
marine dependent. They'll stay in it if the command center's messed up, the SCVs, but marines are dead. I'm probably not winning this one.
And maybe too, even making the 0 supply 35 minerals, no solution to that. So,
Yeah.
So there we go. So quick game number 1 of match 2 there, and see if Deimos has a similar response in play for Bresvin. I wonder if it would actually hurt him to scout it at all.
Yeah, just the fact that like he didn't and it was fine. You almost like
fine.
just keep everything the same and don't
Yeah, just do it.
risk a weird response, trigger something, and yeah. We'll see, because we know Arty's probably gonna do the same thing, so we'll see if Deimos can just pick another quick one in this game too.
Arty. Deimos.
How close are they making it? They kind of did that split up last game too.
Yeah,
which-
they did.
it
Yeah.
just like freaks me out for a second.
Yeah, it is a little weird. And then this must just be just a slight calibration issue of how close 2 buildings could be.
Mm-hmm.
That they're overlapping just a tiny bit, but at least they kind of wiggle their way out of it, which is nice.
Yeah, and
but
didn't lose too much time.
Yeah, not deadly. You can make that cleaner. And again, we get the scouting, but just not in the place that he is.
Yeah, it's just checking the bases rather than like
Yeah.
the like radius around your. I don't know how best you'd be able to, find these proxy locations because they're a little funky.
This one's a little harder. It's farther away. It's weirdly up a ramp and whatever. The first one I feel like you could have found.
Yeah, a little easier just to right click around.
Yeah.
Okay. Very early SCV pull comparatively.
We'll see the probes. No response to that. Yeah, curious this time what there will be. So there's not an expansion yet on Deimos' side. There it is. So is the trigger, like Arty on the other side, going in with a probe, which is now in the mineral line, but there's nobody there? Or is it going to be the cancellation? If there is a cancellation. Which is obvious.
Not so far.
So this is a better, cleaner attack.
If they get on this pylon, that's
Yeah.
pretty huge. Probes gotta be pulled. They're gonna be pulled. Adept will make it out, but this pylon is okay. Now the target switching has to, occur, so the pylon should be safe. Great shade, honestly.
Yeah, that was
positioning wise.
absolutely ideal.
I think that pretty much cleans it.
Yeah, this is a good shutdown.
The already a little bit too focused on the adept, where the probes just got infinite damage of, especially the adept shading through the bundle of probes so that all the marines have to switch directions and go back through that group and get just nicked 10 different times. Yeah, pretty huge. It's like that shade right there. The adept just came to the left, and so you just have to like go through all the probes, and if you're not on A move and instead you're actually just like attacking that adept, you just lose so much chasing.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, really, really quick one there. But Deimos, I guess, after struggling in the first round, just a good response. Don't know whether that was coded in specifically to stop, but it looks like a change of behavior. It seemed almost non-specific because he's not finding like the
actual proxy.
Yeah. Whereas if you did that, you kind of would have a better idea to where to look. It was generically basis. and that's not where it was. So there we go, and we're on to match number 3. This one could be relatively quick too, given the name of one of the bots. We got MicroMachine up against 12 pool bot. 12 pool bot, however, does not always 12 pool. Will sometimes roach rush, something like that, but it is still something
Fast.
pretty fast. Yeah. Yeah, MicroMachine here. Aggressive with good macro and adapts well to the enemy strategy. Weaknesses, largely just that it hasn't been worked on, I think, in a while here. Yeah, it hasn't changed in years. The learning method, this is where you get kind of that hybrid thing of like a lot of the builds are programmed in, but it learns from what it's tried against the opponents of the past and then kind of adapts to which one is going to work. But yeah, in tournament settings, if it hasn't played that opponent yet, it kind of doesn't really know where to start necessarily. It works better like that on a ladder where it plays like hundreds of times.
1,000. Yeah.
So that is it. Yeah, and then on the 12 pool bot side, lings.
Lings or roaches.
Although it can be lings or roaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12 pool is only really viable in ZVZ, but we have seen obviously success with the roach part of that. Which is not too shabby. And yeah, the pathing is a little different. And you do kind of notice this in the game. Like they're similar, but you do notice like kind of this swarmy Python or the swarmy Zerg type behavior in it, that they're kind of moving independently and they're clustering in a way that you don't really see with some of the other ones.
Kind of like avoiding that like streaming in like one at a time line of Zerglings that sometimes kind of
you get some even in the same group, some moving back, some moving forward in like this little swarm, I guess. So gonna kick things off on Site Delta, then move over to Golden Aura, and we'll see if it gets farther than that. But MicroMachine is kind of updated enough to play, but is still, we've always kind of said, is kind of the benchmark for like good, like to get to the elite level, you have to be better than MicroMachine, which has been kind of the elite for forever, like since the beginning of the tournament, essentially. So yeah, it's a good test, a good yardstick.
Yeah.
And we'll see how 12 pool bot does here as we hop into the game.
MicroMachine. ProBots.
And so this one's shaping up maybe as roach opening. Let's see. MicroMachine going.
Look at the gas, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if two gas. It's like it gotta be roaches. One gas. I mean, they at least get speed, right? Or do they do whole mineral?
I think
thing?
it does get. I thought it gets speed, but later, yeah.
Okay.
So this may be lined up with that. So. But it wasn't a 12 pool, right? It was like a 14.
Gotta change your name.
So I think it may be something else. Does also make a hatch, and then will not make like drones out of this.
Just larva, yeah. Okay, it's looking like lings, right? This seems like.
Maybe, yeah.
Just
It
get
feels
speed
too
real
late.
quick.
No, here. This is for the roach.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I just always expect like double gas early-ish to go hard into roaches because I feel like they always get burrow as well, so I feel like the influx of gas is pretty important, but this could still time out pretty well. We got that first Reaper coming out. Should have some fun with the non-fastlings, but obviously roaches will destroy a Reaper.
Assuming across there, the 2 lings will go take a peek, actually not even get up there of the wall, and the entire flag ground. Taking a peek back away. In.
Queen not caring as much as maybe she should, but the roaches will be there.
Will help. Yeah, didn't lose a drone there. One deeply hurt, but
you gotta love the gas.
Yeah.
Dodging everything. When I get Widow Mine dropped and I totally miss it, and somehow 2 of them shoot a gas geyser, man. Luckiest man alive. Oh, that was a good drone move. So we can drone actually kind of circling around. Okay, this is a little bit brutal though.
Yeah, just distracting this much. Like these were meant to go already.
Yeah, and this could just last so long.
Yeah, they're supposed to be at the front. So what he does is makes this group of roaches, which we've seen be from like 7 to 9, and then the next wave of lings are meant to hit when the roaches are at the front door, so that it all kind of hits together. We've seen that work really well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in this case, that's not going to happen. And I think the only thing may pull him if the Reaper just decides to go home. It may pull him home, but if he doesn't, I think.
Yeah, which looks like the Reaper does not necessarily want to go home. They just want to kite as much as possible. Which, until speed is finished,
Yeah.
you can kind of do this forever.
Yeah, which is for a little while. Still. And he's getting link kills. I'm good.
And he's getting tanks and concussive shells to deal with the roaches after this, so it only gets worse. Once you finally get the Reaper, the timing is so out the window. It's an anti-timing, like by every definition.
Yeah, very much so.
And the Reaper's gonna pull them literally to just the other side of the map.
Yeah, he's just taking them in this giant like figure 8 almost. Working out well for him.
True MVP type moves right here.
Hiding and fighting. I mean, what was he hiding? He's just chasing him. So it'll all kind of swarm together now. This is still going to be a pretty big hit. Look at the army supply here, 44 to 26.
And where's
but
the
I think
tank?
MicroMachine, yeah, it does feel
Okay.
Here, it's
a
up
little
high
bit
ground. That's pretty
peeking
good.
up. I do like the high ground
It
tank.
could be better, but I think that's not too bad. Yeah.
Well, and it like paired with a second tank, I think that's
Yeah.
like the best spot, you know. But with only one tank, it does leave a lot of ground not covered, but it's just way too much. This attack is so late from 12 full bot, and MicroMachine's been on 2 bases and actually saturating them for way too long.
Just good control here and not getting trapped anywhere, heading back to the ramp. The ramp here, putting in work itself.
Yeah, we talk about the natural
Alright.
ramp very often, but yeah, in 1 base or 2 base all-ins, it is a lot of the time a make or break of. It's just going to be infinitely harder to try to break, especially pairing with tanks and bunkers and everything they already have. Trying to do it up a ramp is just not happening.
So he'll continue to face kind of waves of this, I think, until he gets to a comfortable enough either bio ball or is getting banshees behind it. MicroMachine tends to just continue to attack and transition throughout the game, but will eventually be able to just counter push this.
Very opposite of Arty. There's no final kill, or at this point I should have 1. It's just I'm gonna keep building. I'll harass if I can, if I have the extra units, but
Pushing back against the mech line, but running into the bio and Hellions.
yeah, and it's just always gonna be way too scary to actually jump on anything.
Yeah, and we see this a lot. That this is kind of that movement I was talking about pre-game of like some are moving forward, some are moving back at the same time. It's almost like they make like the swarmy little circle, but they're indecisive about whether to go or not. But they don't stay back far enough. They stay like in firing range,
Yeah.
and then they kind of make a decision to go, but then pull back indecisively. Like you can see as some of them are retreating, other ones are deciding to walk back into the range.
Yeah, so they're always getting hit and also never hitting.
And they're also just, the Banshee's just sitting on top of them, and they're not even considering that part. Like, just go. As these guys clean up the rest of the workers here.
Yeah, and a pretty clean win from MicroMachine. That Reaper definitely doing a ton of work, and so we'll have to see. I mean, it's like when bots do like worker pulls or something, and they chase one worker for way too long, and it's just like the timing obviously is just so screwed at this point. So we'll see if this game 2 12 pull bot gets this it's like the zombie train.
Yeah.
Like Nazi zombies, you kind of just lead them, you get them all in a group, and then you can take them out real easily.
Indeed. So yeah, good play, good hold there by MicroMachine. 12 pool bot can adapt to one other build. It could actually do the 12 pool instead. So usually if it loses to one, it loses with one, it switches to the other one. See how that plays out here. Golden Aura, not going to have the same sort of ramp directly into the natural problem. So that may help a little bit, but that wasn't the totality of the issues or anything here.
If tanks and marauders are out, that's not. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. We're going to hop into it here. Game number 2.
MicroMachine. ProBots.
Alright, looks pretty similar so far. No proxies or anything crazy. Earlier gas though. For sure.
Yeah, and I think this is to get earlier speed.
Okay.
So basically the moment he starts building, he's making that, and then it's just going to be links.
I feel like that makes... like either way you're going, I feel like this earlier gas makes so much more sense if you're trying to get going and get the pressure on.
Yeah, I think so. I think part of it last time, you'll notice once he goes into roaches, like he makes that 7 to 9. It's usually been about that. And then he doesn't make any more. He's back into lings. So it's only for that initial boom that he goes. I think that's why the gas is later. But I do agree it would help you get the speed quicker to join with that and make the whole thing better.
Yeah.
But I think that's his reasoning, at least, that the only thing he's interested in is
Yeah, which I do like the commitment of a swell of roaches and then never going back to roaches, because they'll just never get there in a timely manner where it still makes sense to like punch.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because if that one doesn't break through anyway, then yeah, you've lost.
4 roaches, 3 minutes later is not going to be the difference maker. 12 lings 10 seconds later, 20,
So lings up quicker, but a Reaper is what's coming out. And then if that can just kind of bait them into chasing forever, then that helps. One had already peeled off, and then as reinforcements come, they may not join the chaser pack.
Yeah, depending on how far away the Reaper is. And speed finishing up soon-ish.
Hold off, at least go. Oh, if 3 of these commit to the Marine, that's probably a good call. But yeah, this Reaper is not going to die until speed is done, like you said.
It's getting close, and like the lost mine time is kind of, a thing, but it's getting a little bit snowbally where once we have enough Marines, it's just going to be so hard to actually get up that main ramp.
Yeah, and the lings joining and not joining in like these big clumps or anything.
Yeah.
They're trickling in twos. I think that'll be off the speed. It is finished. There we go. We'll jump on this stuff now, but yeah, is there enough at home? Now with 2 barracks and so on, just close it off.
10 more lings. I mean, I don't think there's an actual wall, which
yeah, there
is a pretty big problem.
Yeah. Yeah, decent number of lings coming. It'll be this. Can the SCV stabilize enough that when the next, like 8, yeah, there's just too many lings to shut down.
Yeah.
Still getting pretty good.
Yeah, as long as there's not a wall, it just doesn't feel like it's stopped.
Yeah.
You know?
It doesn't, but I think, yeah, if he keeps losing the Marines.
And if his
and
depot
he
goes
lost
down
both
and he
there.
gets a little, well, I guess he's not close to being supply blocked yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Regroup. We can lose some SCVs.
And the SCVs are all getting like
Maybe.
yellowy, orangey.
Yeah. Hellion here.
Hellion's
changes
pretty
things.
big, yeah.
Yeah.
And just being able to repair the Hellion, like, also feels very different than
Yeah,
Marines that get hit
that's
5
too
times.
Much. Hellion and 3 Marines being body blocked by a few SCVs. Yeah.
And where it's never going to be a jump on.
Yeah.
Oh, that actually almost.
That
looked
was
like
a
it
pretty good one, but I
Right.
think he got too scared of the Hellion.
Yeah, it's still.
Yeah, because he had to
He's
clear.
scared.
He had an opportunity to drop the 3 Marines there, and then it's just that. Yeah, and again, this is that forward pullback. Once you're in melee range of these things, there is no situation in which pulling back is correct.
Yeah.
Like, if you are in melee range, you pulling back is always wrong.
Yeah, you're not attacking while getting attacked.
Yeah.
For sure, like just like by definition, yeah.
And then this thing of walking to within a foot of melee range and then pulling back is even worse.
Yeah.
Like, not even getting the hit because he's coming so close, not even hitting them and then backing up.
Yeah.
There we go. See there again. You could at least take 1 or 2 out, and you're still taking the same amount of damage.
It's like you know, in fighting games, you kind of you find the bubble of not aggression, but of what your opponent can actually like cover and what you know, what they're threatening. That's what it is. Their threatened zone.
Yeah.
And yeah, ProBot just seems like instead of going in and out of that bubble, it's just right on the edge of the bubble the whole time.
Yeah.
Where it's always within the combat zone, but like almost able to be safe, but it kind of tricking itself to just hang out and play footsies right there, which is almost the right play. You know, it's almost the right call to bait out them over committing, but
Yeah. It feels like that logic again. We see a fair bit of like at some point it decides I have 13, go. Wait, I got 12, run.
yeah.
I think that's what happens. Like as it comes in, it loses 1, and you can see kind of as 1 blows up, it immediately retreats. And then when the 2 more join, it does it again.
Yeah, the confidence needs to be a little less fickle. It needs to have a, I don't know, less specific
And here-
number or less
yeah.
specific.
Now that it hit a number, that it's not being reduced between, and then it just went, and then it won the fight. Now it's way too late. Like,
Yeah.
there's way more over here that didn't come with this little batch, but yeah. But it's that sort of thing. And it's harder to, again, hard to make those decisions, hard to code that sort of thing of like when to just commit. But I think you do kind of have to, like, if you've committed. And I'm not sure exactly what the right way to do it is. but,
Code it
like,
or, yeah.
like, but it's almost got to be like if you've gone in, you're in for like 5 seconds or like some. Like
Yeah.
you cannot even reevaluate whether to retreat or this, or you literally cannot.
Yeah, because being decisive is better than
yeah.
indecisive, even if you're choosing
Yeah.
the wrong option. Just
Yeah.
choosing something is way better than
Yeah,
dash dancing right in the range forever.
Also, some way to approach it, and this could be, you know, frustrated by whether or not something joins them frequently enough. But if it's something like, I have X and they have Y, unless their Y increases by 3, do not reevaluate decision, basically. Because I understand when attacking, my X is going to drop.
Yeah.
So as long as they haven't added more troops, then don't reevaluate this decision. And I don't know, kind of how you would do that exactly where you put that threshold, but that's almost what feels like it needs to happen there. Because as you're entering in, particularly melee units versus range units, as you're closing the gap, you're going to lose one.
Yeah, you'll
And
always
then-
lose something. Yeah.
Yeah, but then in 1 second, they would have lost one of theirs too. So you've got to, it's kind of like, you're reevaluating your decision while you're charging. And so you never have your D-Day moment
Yeah.
of making it. Like you know you're taking losses on the way in.
It's almost, this is a little philosophical, but like anxiety and stuff. People have talked about how it's almost like we've evolved too far into worrying about everything and always needing everything to be, planned out and everything. And it's almost like, like you can't, if was the person who thinks all day only has thoughts to think about. And it's like if you're always making another decision, like you never get to see if the decision worked. You never get to like actually take the fight if you're like, actually I'm not fighting. Actually I'm fighting. Actually, you might as well not be choosing either. And so it is such a funky limbo state that doesn't actually you don't get to do either thing when you live in this like the worst case medium world.
Yeah, exactly. So there we are. MicroMachine is moving on. I think we will still go to a 5-minute break and come back with the last 2 matches. Yeah.
Try and make it fast.
We'll do that. Fast 5 minutes. All right. So
I don't see my face. There we go. We're back. Awesome. Welcome, guys, to the second half of ProBots, Day 5, 22-24, Season 3. I'm Drekken. We're back, and I'm going to make a quick announcement. So, as you know, we're getting to that time. It's holiday season, festive, all that stuff, but also the end of the ProBots season. And so what that means is humans versus ProBots, grand finals. But this year, I'm adding something different to the mix. So this December 13th, we'll be holding a versus AI summit. And so I'll be bringing on this panel bot authors across the multiverse, the AI multiverse, to have a discussion about making bots. So we got a guy who's made a Pokemon, got a Pokemon AI to play and beat Pokemon. And hopefully I'll have some people from Rocket League joining us as well, and some other guests. So look for that on the 13th. Here on the channel, we'll be having the panel to discuss future AI gaming AI bots. I guess, what is our topic? Like, what are we? Are we just AIs and games? AIs and games, yeah. The futures of AIs and games. So make sure you keep an eye out for that here on the channel. You'll see it pop up, and make sure you notify me when it happens. What do you think about that, Intersar? I feel like I talk to it all the time.
Yeah, we've discussed it in kind of the broader applications and stuff like that. And I always think that AI specifically in a gaming environment, like it just works the best because it's adversarial in nature.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that is often hard when AI is released in like normal technology. One of the first things that happens is people try and break it. and they usually succeed because the people, when you're training it, it's never trained adversarially. Like you make a large language model, you make a self-driving car or whatever. It's not assuming that people are running in front of a car with a QR code or something, but they do. So it's always things like that. I think in order for something to be sturdy, it has to be adversarially arrived at. And I mean, that's evolution itself is adversarially arrived at.
I mean, like different versions being conquered by other versions until leaving the best version.
Yeah, basically, I'm saying that Spore was the best game ever made.
And there are actually, as I went through the multiverse, there are a lot of bot makers across games. Obviously, we have StarCraft 2, Brood War, Rocket League as the core ones, but you have people who've made Street Fighter bots. You've had people who've made Trackmania bots, like AIs with reinforcement learning. There's
another melee bot
there's a melee bot,
getting really popular. Zane just played like a best of 5 or best of 10 or something.
Really? Can
Wait,
you,
with-
after this BY, send me the link to it? I'd like to,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe the next person. But yeah, there are a lot of bot authors, and that's one of my core goals of this channel. Is I want to like explore them all, right? It's kind of like Enter the Spider-Verse. Like I want to go to the different bot universes and
Big AI bot, yeah.
meet our different counterparts. But yeah, we're late tonight, so I won't take too long. I'll talk more about it at the end. But casters, take us through to the next half.
All right.
Oh, good luck.
Sure.
Too late.
Always like and subscribe. Thanks.
Too late. Go ahead and unlike, unsubscribe.
That's
Check
it.
that the bell has do not notify me.
Yeah. Always. Bells are loud and annoying. Turn them off. Yeah. So we got match number 4 coming up. This one may also be a shorter leaning one. Zozo has been known for the proxy zealot flower situation.
Yep. And the straight pro pull as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was a little bit more early on Zozo.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels like one of those sets that could be an early fast forward game.
Yeah.
Where if Ketroc defends it, I don't think Ketroc's gonna go and finish the game. I think they're gonna take lots of expands and stuff. But it's gonna be pretty clear the way the game is gonna shake out within the first 4 minutes, even if it goes 35 minutes technically, you know?
No, I tend to agree. That is how that'll be. Yeah, and again, this bot we mentioned before was not even intended to be a standalone bot, but it turned out to be good. So evolved into one here over time, and
There's
may have
also-
evolved again. There's been updates, so
Yeah, that's true. It almost is like the most adversary. You know, like
Yeah.
it was the adversary. It
Yeah,
was just
exactly.
the obstacle. But was done such a good job that it became its own bot.
yeah.
And then Ketroc is kind of based off of himself, where it's just a raven loving Terran.
Yeah, pretty much. And so it'll just be down to can you hold kind of the initial push, which often Ketroc isn't super defensive early or does it in another way. Like we'll sometimes open with like a planetary fortress, something of that nature. But we'll see if there's been a response. Again, knowing that this may be the matchup, may have been tuned or adjusted for this sort of thing.
Yeah, and this is the matchup, or one of the many matchups that got played in the first round of this pool. So Zozo has 2-0'd Ketroc already,
Yes. Yeah.
and so Ketroc definitely well aware of how this match is probably going to look, at least to, some extent.
Yeah.
So we'll see how well they're prepared.
Indeed. So we're going to start on Oceanborn. Lovely water-filled map. It's implied water.
Yeah, well, and then they have when the people die, they go up, right?
Yeah, they go up.
Like Abysmal. I do love those.
Yeah,
Where you're like,
I
oh,
like
we're
that.
underwater.
Yeah.
No one's wearing any like
Yeah.
everything looks the exact same, but
Exactly.
they go up.
Yeah, it's fine. Gravity works the same. Everyone until you're dead.
Until you're
Gravity's the
dead.
same. Everyone, which is weird. That
Your
death,
soul weighs the same.
Yeah.
In the ocean.
Yeah, death increases buoyancy, basically. So yeah, we'll I'm sure see a fair bit of that happening as we hop into this one, and we are ready for game number 1.
Zozo. Ketroc.
All right, first pylon down, looking pretty flowery.
Also pretty damn close in this one. I feel like he's gotten more aggressive with that sort of thing, but Ketroc is out with the proxy on his own side of things. And, early Terran aggression can definitely shut down the income required to do this sort of zealot thing. And the ability to float off your CC could definitely play a big factor. SCV coming out, seeing all this, but ignoring it, may just be going for his own barracks or something else.
Yeah, the probes also ignoring the SCV, which could have
Yeah.
led them to the 2 barracks as well. Ketroc, one of the bots that kind of gives you the updates of what it's thinking, which is one of my favorite aspects of bots. And so even at the beginning of the game, Ketroc initially was going to go for a bunker contain. Now it knows that it's getting cheesed and maybe we'll play a little bit more defensive, but factory's going across the map.
Yeah, CP still goes. So he is actually making a bunker on that side still, but it's on the low ground. Hopefully he doesn't try to contain with it and just attacks, because he's really going to go after the mineral line directly too.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't like fill up the bunker and play off that zone.
Exactly.
And first zealots are coming, so the SCV damage is going to start coming in hard. Ketroc is going to commit. Obviously the bunker was already building, but also the Marine not coming home. Sometimes here, like in a human game, like one Reaper can be like a huge, help, either the one Reaper being the one unit home, or everything else comes home and the one Reaper being the kind of thing that guarantees you damage. Right now though, Zozo getting a ton of damage.
Yeah, a lot of death happening there, and on the other side so far we've got nothing. Again, the one thing that may help, again, he can pick up here. So if he's able to at least get counter damage on the other side and shut down what he's got, then that would help. But if not, it's not looking great at the moment. And like this thing with like a contain when there's nothing in there to defend is unfortunately just a misread of what the situation.
And I think with the number of zealots that Zozo's going to have, when they actually do fight the Marines, they'll be able to overpower them. Where obviously, like, if these two forces clashed 2 minutes ago, Ketroc probably wipes. But now that you have 20 zealots and the Marines haven't been able to be built for, most of the game.
Phoenix out changes things, so it does transition to the Stargate, and that will chase down the buildings in the air.
It's really cool that it doesn't mark the Phoenix until it knows that it's not a hallucination, because obviously that is a very common hallucination scout, and it'd be very annoying to go into mass Viking production for a hallucination, but that distinction has got to be a very specific line of code. That's a really cool distinction to be made.
I think so, but they did make the presence known fairly quickly, or their effect known at the very least.
Yeah, they're doing damage.
Yep. So if Ketroc has not really adapted to this, then we could definitely get something pretty abruptly bad. We'll see here.
Yeah, Terran I think is really good against cheese, but you have to do a couple things pretty correct, and a couple things. It's a lot to kind of balance. But we'll see if Ketroc can do it any better this game. Hopping into game number 2.
Zozo. Ketroc.
Okay, so this is bunker contain weak rather than bunker contain strong. What I hope that means is that the factory will be built in Ketroc's main rather than at the proxy. And I feel like that would hopefully help. I feel like Ketroc never actually had money to use the factory once it was built. But I think that'd be a much better start. Okay,
Yeah, I think so.
Is this just a crazy aggressive flower build?
Yeah.
I feel like they've been getting more and more aggressive.
It's been,
but...
like if it works, move 20 feet closer.
But this is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's the cats that when you look away and then you look back, they just inch closer and closer but never move. Yeah, that is hilariously close. And 3 probes, which is more than they usually. I think 2 is usually.
Yeah.
I already thought was like too many probes, but pulling up a 3rd, and when the barracks is like proxied, these probes actually do so much damage with the shield regen and just being super annoying early on.
Yeah, very much so. And yeah, it just really feels like Ketroc's not seeing or acknowledging what any of this is, and just not adapting to it all. At least you're going for a wall, but
The call's
I'm-
coming from inside the house.
Yes, indeed.
You
Right spirit.
You can keep the 3 probes out, which at right now is a lot of damage.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Ketroc-
one of these is an engineering bay. It'd be interesting. You turn this into a planetary, but it's already
Oh, yeah,
orbital. Yeah,
it would be an idea.
yeah. So let's get right on top.
Yeah, with Ketroc never actually seeing the gateways and stuff, the tag of Cannon Rush, Cheese, all the other tags that they got last game just never came through, and so
Yeah.
the game plan just never changed really. And yeah, this is gonna be a very quick third set of the night, fourth set of the night. All right, we are kind of getting through it, huh?
Yeah, it's going relatively quick. We'll see what we end up with after this, but yeah, at least these have been relatively short as we get the overwhelming zealots coming out here. Again, Ketroc is chilling in a bunker on the other side, but at least we know we'll eventually get the Zozo transition
Phoenix and yeah.
and get the whole swarm around.
Should be revealed.
I think he's definitely seen too.
It's just
Yeah,
loading, right?
he's seen it, but yeah. It's gonna take a bit. They're the first Phoenix are coming out. And it'll be a 2-0 similar to we had in round 1, so.
Phoenix seem like a little
There we
funny
go.
because obviously they're cheaper, but like it seems like putting
Yeah,
landing
getting
and picking up
more
would be
and more
really
aggressive.
annoying.
Sound cut out on me.
Oh, maybe. Can you hear me now? Am I good? Okay. So maybe Ender just can't hear us. Yeah, he's gonna try to come back real soon. So we just finished match 4, and so the next match, or our last match, is gonna be T-Bone and DominionDog, which this is another matchup that's already happened. But this one was 2-1, round 1, so definitely one that could go either way. I mean, honestly, with these bots, sometimes it's a 2-0, and it feels like it could go either way, still. But this one should be super, super close. So I'm excited to see it. I believe it's TVT. Yeah. They're right there. Terran versus Terran. So we'll see what kind of fights we get into. Probably tank, Viking. See if I either go, heavy Marine or into BCs or Thors or anything like that. I can read their strategies and stuff at least while we're hanging out. So DominionDog employs a single build strategy that begins with a depot scout and adapts based on in-game events. Okay, well, I'll do it on the stream. All right, we'll do T-Bone first. Oh, I hear Ender. Oh, hell yeah, we're so back, guys. But we got T-Bone. Gonna be doing a 2 base timing all in, which is what we love to see. Fast games.
Yeah, I think that'll be relative.
Yeah. Oh, this is the one that
Yeah.
said no tactics for combat.
micro. But it seems like
Okay.
it does. We'll have
Yeah,
to
no,
judge
it-
this when we go in.
The
I think
micro
that
is
it
much better
does.
than Arty's
Yeah.
Marines. I remember like the first, okay, immediately like the Marine pulled back and we were both like,
Yeah.
that is something.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah, I think it
not
is.
no tactics. Yeah. Most early sponsor Reaper harassment. Oh yeah, this was. Oh, and I think it was this matchup even maybe too, where DominionDog would always start with the Reaper, and T-Bone would have 2 Marines at the Reaper jump up spot, and every single time it would just start with that first Reaper going down with like, maybe not even getting to the high ground, just like a brutal ending. DominionDog, like I was kind of going over right before we got into it, just gonna be the same build every time. Depot scout and then tries to react.
New strategy. Well, it's a little tested now, but we'll see. And yeah, we'll change strategy and forward parameters from previously executed builds. So has kind of a structure to it, but adapts kind of within the constraints of that, I think. And can make for some interesting games.
Yeah, you always love to see at least some adaptation. Even Ketroc going from strong to weak, you at least get some idea where it's like, all right,
yeah,
did not quite work.
Something.
Let's at least change something,
Yeah.
Try to do something different.
Indeed. We'll be kicking it off on Site Delta here. Then go over to Hard Lead. And we'll see. So TVT, it feels, is this one a rematch too?
Yeah, this is the rematch that was
right?
2-1.
Yeah.
And T-Bone did take it before. And I think it was the one where, they just got... Well, here's also... This was just a TVT group. Benbot here, T-Bone, DominionDog is crazy.
Yeah.
But let's see how the first TVT looks. I think we're ready. T-Bone, DominionDog.
Up and in.
T-Bone. DominionDog.
Banshee. But gonna go for Banshees eventually. We'll see if T-Bone lets them get there.
Yeah.
But sometimes Banshees are really annoying if you are like for the person doing the all-in, just because you don't really have anything to deal with that detection, and kind of will just like slowly pick at you, so you're even more on a timer than you would be of like, all right, these Marines need to kill something fast because they're just getting picked off.
Yeah, and I find that's often a good way to deal with some of the bot stuff, is like they don't have, again, it's hard to code into them, but like a sense of urgency, is a hard thing to get it to appreciate. It'd be like, if you don't attack now, you might as well never attack, because you're going to lose. And it's hard to put that sort of thing in. It's obvious to us, but it's not like what you code as a trigger for that. It's like, it's hard to do.
Yeah, there are a couple things that it kind of goes along with like the killer instinct and just a lot of these things that there are so many variables.
Star sense.
Yeah, the X factor, the razzle dazzle. There's just so many factors that if you actually were to think through them all, it is a lot of processing that you're doing in like 0.1 seconds or however long it takes you. It's like there's something about like when you pick up like a milk jug, and if it like if it was fully white and you thought like there was more milk in it, like you have such an expectation of like how much it weighs based on looking at it, that obviously you don't know that you're calculating all these crazy specific calculations, but like there are expectations and how much it should weigh based on how much is left. And it's these weird equations that we're running through our minds of army compositions and when to fight and how to position everything. Just very crazy, hard to get down into specific lines.
Yeah, exactly. It really is a feel. And like I think too, some times when you talk to like pro gamers and stuff, like for StarCraft in particular, like you would expect them to be the ones that know unit stats and like stuff like that. They often don't. And it's because they just feel it. And then there's always, different people who kind of lean on different things of more feel and more, because there are, I feel like not as many like pros, but like right below pro level, like the Excel sheet nerds do come out, where it is, when I have 11 stalkers, I one-shot this thing, and if I have +1 on these units, like this is what, and there are so many different situations they know, but it is a crazy cross section of
different people who are like, oh, I don't even know like how much that upgrade costs. And you're like, how did like
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense.
Is also something just what their specialty is. Like we used to do trivia here at like Barcrafts and stuff, and the one that would always get the number right on like how many banelings do you need? No regret. You could ask like if you have +2 banelings versus an unupgraded Thor, how many banelings? 39.
Yeah, you
Like
just
he
got
just
it.
know, and it's
easy.
like no one would ever even do that, but he just knows that sort of thing.
That's so funny. All right, T-Bone should be getting close to this
Yeah.
2-base timing. There's T-Bone's always on the clock, you know.
Yeah.
they put themselves on the clock when they start the game.
Yeah, it feels like there is a specific trigger that we've seen in the past that's kind of like the go time, and whether it's a set army supply or a number of tanks or something, there's kind of a let's go moment. DominionDog is moving out though, and I think this is what we saw in their first matchup against each other, that T-Bone is getting up to his let's go point, but DominionDog moves before that.
Yeah, and then T-Bone is able to like counter and then just like
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Cloak getting on the
have
tank originally, but now
scans.
going after the Marines, which is decent. But they may doing some work here. 3 place. Doesn't look like there's any energy on the one below. That one's getting close. 49, 50.
50.
Do we get a scan going? They move. Where are we at? Yeah.
Now all the anti-air is done other than the Viking,
Yeah.
so this is almost GG. And this is what I was talking about with
No,
the,
I think he dropped the mule.
oh my god. Yeah, so the
Let's
advantage are going to do unlimited amount of damage. It feels like a ZVZ when mutas come out, where it's like, all right, if you didn't do something and you don't send anything, like everything you have across the map right now,
Yeah.
you just slowly bleed out. Like it's just like it's the definition of what you were saying of like, if you're gonna die anyway, you might as well just go and like see what you can do. Because yeah, at this point nothing suits up other than that Viking, which eventually we'll get it, but yeah, supply is already 67 to 13 and not gonna get any prettier.
Yep, just a death here now. And yeah, enough operation, 0 workers, 4 army somewhere, which is just those. So 1 Viking and one,
And a
and one
medevac.
medevac. Yeah. Now he scans.
So if you land the Viking, put an SCV in the medevac, you can
Yeah.
pick up the Viking. Alright, so another pretty quick game. DominionDog was able to get one last game as well, or last set. So we'll see if they can fully turn the tides and get a complete 2-0 and actually take the set, or if it'll be T-Bone kind of a... I don't want to say like getting lucky or not getting unlucky, but just, you know, having a little better opening engagement. Because it really was just like not having a scan for the Banshees and losing all the Marines before the Banshees were handled at all. I feel like if like one Banshee went down before the Marines died, or, you know, like you
Yeah.
slow the bleeding a little bit, like it can change a lot, but the Marines just died so fast, and the one scan being a mule, they were pretty much already
Yeah.
dead, but it's
Yeah.
just like, all right, you really can't do that though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, watching it tick up to like 48, 59,
Yeah.
50 mule. Yeah. Oh well. Happens. But yeah, we'll see. Does DominionDog do that again? Is there some switch up in build? Is there a response on T-Bone's side to that? I don't think there probably is a response to T-Bone's side, but DominionDog may not repeat the same thing on a different map.
Yeah, or an angle may make it
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
workers get hit before the Marines, and that
Yeah.
makes a huge difference. You know, just like the anti-air was wiped so quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything that can kind of delay that. I mean, maybe even if they see buildings first and they hit a supply depot first, you know, like yeah, seconds can really make a difference. But says we're ready. We'll see. T-Bone DominionDog, Game 2, Match 5.
T-Bone. DominionDog.
Yeah, so our observer pointing out, it does look like it's going to be the same build as last game, at least from DominionDog, and I mean, T-Bone has kind of already said that they're doing a 2-base timing.
Yeah.
Theirs doesn't really switch up much. Sometimes early army interactions can make the push look different, because, I feel like we've talked about T-Bone a lot and what triggers it. It seems to be an army supply, where like even if they lose army, they'll just rebuild with whatever is happening to pop out of the factories and starports, and then they'll go with, I think it was like 2 medevac, 2 Viking, and like marine, you know, some weird assortment of units. But if they don't get touched, then it's a very beautiful, I think like 3 tank push or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that before. It seemed to vary. I think it was based on like actual just army supply, or something the first time we saw it. But we'll see what we get.
Yeah, I think a lot just comes down to how much interaction we actually get between the units. Now they're opting to go the Reaper route. So I think it was Tier that was always going Reaper, and T-Bone got a lot off of that. Still ended up losing the set, but every set started with an instant Reaper kill, which was just feels good to like have your opponent, especially with gas. Like, it just seems like such a big investment of like, all right, you got the geyser a little bit earlier. You like spent your first 25 gas on this unit to get some information, get some. I mean, sometimes 5 worker, you know, Reapers can go crazy, and just to immediately get shot down is like, all right, pretty big momentum swing.
Yeah, very much so. When that happens, I mean, we've seen now, like today so far, a MicroMachine Reaper just lead an army around in a circle for like 2 minutes.
That Reaper,
Reapers are great.
Won the game easily.
Yeah.
And even if like it went home the entire time, it probably killed 20 Zerglings.
Yeah.
While it was, you know,
during
even if it didn't delay, or if it didn't kill any of the Zerglings and it just delayed, like, yeah, it did its job 10 times over.
Quite true.
Which, yeah, it is why I always get a little bit surprised if there's no Reaper whenever there's a Terran, because it just seems like the Roach Burrow and the Stalker Blink, it seems like if you're a micro god, this robot, it seems like you could really abuse this unit.
Yeah, exactly. It can be like a free lunch sort of situation of like the very worst case, it scouts everything.
Yeah.
And then if it does damage on top of that, it's whatever. But yeah, it can just completely win games.
Yeah, especially in the bot battle zone of like, they do a worker pull, they're dead. They do well, and especially if I feel like a big thing that the bots, or you know, it's a hard thing to code and hard, you know, a little more conceptual, or you know, like kind of out there, but like hitting people where they're not, or like, you know, like the idea of like counter punching and like bringing some units back, but having one unit over there just be annoying, and like that's where I think Reapers really shine, is like you're getting all in and you have a Reaper on the other side, and then everything else is defending, and that one Reaper, if you have, you know, 5,000 APM, is just worth its weight in gold.
Quite true indeed. And Banshees are lurking.
I was gonna say they like started coming down and then they stopped, right? They're like a natural, I think.
Yeah.
Like their own natural though. Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna go. The cloak is done already. So yeah, this is a bit delayed from the first time around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that also means the 3rd and 4th are gonna get there very quickly after this starts. So as long as the Marines are cleaned up while they're invisible, I think it looks very similar to last game.
Yeah. I'm thinking what the differences could be. If something prompts T-Bone to get a Raven, then that's obviously massively different. But here they are. The Viking going to them, but still no trigger to go scan. 22 energy on...
The Viking lands. Imagine the Viking getting taken out on...
Yeah. They may.
Alright, but is this always going to be a mule?
It did just get killed.
Oh, the Vikings. So even the scans don't even matter. 4 Marines don't beat...
Now it's done.
4 Banshees.
Yeah.
Damn, so somehow worse. Somehow the Viking doesn't just not kill them. It dies.
Yeah, and once again, not even a scan. Still, not that there's anything left to kill him, but he.
And that's a fresh mule right there. Yeah.
Fresh mule. Yeah. So that's the one from the main. This one's out 52 energy. Still don't see a scan there yet. We know that it's capable of it. We saw it later, but I guess
eventually
now,
scan.
now that there's no Viking, it may be like, well, there's no point in me doing this.
Yeah, and it seems like maybe like the up until the last mule, that's just what it's gonna do, and then the energy finally is like, all right, where do we actually need this? But everything before that 2-base timing hits, I think is pretty determined. So it's gonna go and do what it's gonna do to get to that 2-base timing, and so DominionDog with the early harass really rips apart T-Bone.
Not finishing anything off though, just pulls everything home.
Oh,
It's
well,
like,
you don't
okay,
need to.
like I'm going late game Thor. Don't worry about it. Like I
That
know
was
you don't
harass.
have anything yet. There's a single medevac alive, and it's like, yeah. All right.
Get some ravens. Beautiful. Oh, it's Reckon.
Yo.
Yes, yes, it is me. I was muted for half a second,
I was
but
gonna-
muted no more.
Huzzah.
What a doozy of a night. We made it through though at a decent time. Later than normal, but not.
Not
But
so
we've also
much.
had normal nights go this long. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna
not that
say.
bad.
But actually shorter than some nights. So you know what? When I saw Ketroc on the docket, I was like, oh snap. But it worked out pretty well. So hopefully those of you who stuck around with us, I know we started late and deepest apologies, but hopefully you still had a great show that we produced for you. And it was a bad time. A couple of things to clean up the notes that BY's leaving us for the rest of the season. So for those of you who love, make sure you guys give BY lots of love, tons of love for BY. And Ketroc will be back in the seat to take his place, take you out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be in the Ketroc's place, the ProBots. I'm gonna put my bot in the bracket.
You can,
and
like
then
swap.
he'll and then he'll cast.
And that's it. That you'll just do the swap there, and we'll get to hear about and it's actually perfect because his bot's gone now. So it kind of works. Ketroc doesn't like casting his own bot.
That is
so
true.
Yeah, you
but he
can't get the
always ends
bias.
up doing it. Yeah.
he does end up always. He does always end up doing it, but it's okay. So BY, let's get your thoughts of just the overall season. Talk us about how you felt. So
Okay. I mean, I still feel fairly new in general to
Really?
the ProBot. I mean, like, I can recognize names, but I still like when you guys are like, "Oh, Ares is back." I'm like, to me, there's no, like, I don't know the full depth of that, But I've started to recognize some names and kind of have some expectations of like, I see BenBot BC, I see Ketroc. I'm like, these guys are gonna destroy, whoever goes against them. And so getting to be able to like finally have some expectations and finally have some underdogs. And then I feel like this season, a lot of underdogs, which some of them had been bots that were just before my time or, different authors. But to me, it felt like a very underdog season and very like meta's evolving and like everything's kind of getting switched up, Like
I mean,
felt...
that's how we know you're one of the ProBots family. You discovered it was an underdog season. Like that is a true testament of a true ProBot veteran. You're getting there, young Padawan. I mean, like it is like we did see a lot of upsets. Ketroc is taken out by Zozo. That is by definition pure underdog.
BenBot BC out like first round losers.
Like it's like some of these things are things you wouldn't have seen before ever. I feel like a bot like Zozo would not be considered what you would expect to see coming into the top 8, right? It's very unusual. And now that's where we're at. That's where we're in terms of ProBots with a Zozo top 8. Speaking of top 8s, we're gonna be seeing the ProBots versus humans. So, or at least I'm hoping so, because we're in a new patch now, and I don't know how that affects us. I really don't. So, I actually haven't gotten a chance to dissect the patch, and I guess I don't know if anyone else here on the panel knows like what's the status of like how much has changed. These bots are still playing
like
on the
quite a
old
bit,
patch.
but
Yeah. There's, I mean, the Nexus lost an ability and got a new one.
Yeah, so I don't know how.
There's
I
some big.
really don't know. We actually have a pro gamer signed up to play against them. So
I'm not a pro. Come on.
no,
No, I'm
you.
just.
A real
You're too
pro.
kind. You're too kind.
A real pro has expressed interest to play against the bots, but yeah, I don't know how we're gonna handle that. But we'll see. You know, guys, just keep join it. We'll figure it out. And whatever it is, we'll figure it out. And we'll have a show for you on the 15th or 14th? 14th of December.
Yeah, that's Saturday.
Yeah, 14th of December. 14th of December. Yeah. Be prepared for the grand finals and the last games of the season, of the year. Actually, 2024 is over. At least as far as ProBots is concerned. So, Endersword, your feelings, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of, I guess, upsets and like unexpected things. I think this one we've got kind of a reset of, like, you could see short games all today.
Actually,
and
why don't we hold the brackets up while we talk?
Yeah,
Brackets, so we can just reminisce.
Hey Alexa.
Indeed. So yeah, one thing we had a lot of 2-1s too compared to normal, but yeah, we've had like Sharkbot being knocked down by Sharpened Edge. You know, Zozo taking out Ketroc is pretty big. Even Ketroc being kind of dropped down originally too is a little bit odd. Yeah, there's just a lot of, I think, unexpected things here. Benbot was really uncharacteristically not good. I guess he tried to get aggressive, and usually one of its biggest strengths is patience, so that kind of didn't work out.
Well, and I feel like
yeah.
TVT kind of is like,
yeah.
sometimes the BCs work really well in the TVT kind of matchup, and that was a full TVT group, and it just did not look good.
And you know what, though? I won't poop on Benbot for not trying something new. I think it's good to have our bots try something new and be a little bit out of their comfort zone. It might cost you a ProBots or two, but you know, Deimos being in here instead of Eris, like, you know, bot authors, we definitely encourage bot authors to try new things, stretch out of their comfort zone. Except for you, Sharkbot, when you stretch out of your comfort zone, we get things get wild. So stay where you are.
You have to watch the same game 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
It's Groundhog's Day, but with a
yeah, but with like the bot
build flower cannon build. Yeah,
for sure. Other than that, so you guys know the drill. I'm not gonna berate you. You know where the like button is. You know where all the subscribe buttons are. I just saw that we were like, if you are so inclined, if you want to be a channel member, we're one away from getting the new emoji. Yeah, so new emoji for it. I don't know what it will be. I see someone say "Go Birds" in the channel. Maybe our next emoji will be some sort of bot bird hybrid eagle. I don't know.
Well, birds
Oh,
aren't
I figured
real.
it was Ender Swords Go Birds was the hat.
Oh,
right?
is that what we're
That's
referring to?
Here,
That's
here
why
in
you're
America,
What?
here in
That's why you're saying
America,
that.
when you throw the old
Wow.
pigskin, yeah,
Okay.
Eagle's fine.
I got baited. All right, got him.
Go Birds. Amen, brother. Amen, brother.
All right, well, that was rip. And then,
Fly,
okay,
Philly,
so
fly.
who knows what the actual emoji would be? Now I throw that one out in the garbage. Okay, and then, as well, you can join us in the membership I've been working on. We've been doing weekly bot building. We've come to the end of it. It's almost done. Next week, I'm pretty much wrapping it up. The bot, the stuff that we cleaned up in it, we catapulted to the 3 ranks in the micro arena. So really good progress. They've revamped micro arena, so we're going to be, taking some time to evaluate what the new micro arena is. So stay tuned tonight. If you missed it, the VODs are here on the channel under live, and you can see how we got to where we got with making the bot. So that's that. Any other stuff, guys, to round out our night before we say goodbye to everybody? It's been a long night. Longish.
If you're an American, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I know these
my
Canadians
God.
don't care about you, but guys, I'm here. I ate a lot of food today. I hope you did. I hope you got a good nap in. I got a nap in right before this broadcast. These guys, they don't get it, but I see you. I see you.
BY, I'm gonna miss you so much.
Gobble gobble, guys. Gobble gobble, all you Americans.
Gobble, fucking gobble. Anyway, Sword, do you got something for us?
I don't know, just to anyone who's not an American, congratulations. you did it.
Yes, on all those things. And then you'll be seeing notification shortly after this broadcast for the Versus AI Summit, the panel that I'll be running on the 13th of December. 13th of December. So stay tuned for that and then hit notify on that. Okay, guys. Until then, though, we'll see you next week. Definitely on time. And happy Thanksgiving and enjoy the rest of your night. Happy coding for the rest of you.
Night.